Reporting for Jacksonville.com after the Indianapolis Colts 31-24 victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars, this is Gene Frenette of the Florida Times-Union, along with Jaguars beat writer Vito Stellino. Vito, clearly the most entertaining game of the season by far. Great duel between Peyton Manning and David Garrard. But in the final analysis, we saw that why Peyton Manning is the elite quarterback he is, why he's the future Hall of Famer he is, and David Garrard is a pretty decent quarterback, but not quite in Peyton Manning's league.
Yes, this game was all too reminiscent of the playoff loss to the New England last year when Tom Brady completed 26 of 28 passes. Their defense just can't stop the great quarterbacks. And David Garrard, he can't match it. He can match it for a while, but with 5 minutes to go, score tied 24-24. He throws an interception for a touchdown, and then he gets him down to the 7-yard line, can't get him in the end zone. And that's how you judge quarterbacks. And so I think now, among all the other question marks, you have to question whether is David Garrard the quarterback who can take them where they want to go.
Peyton Manning was 29 of 34 on this night, 364 yards, a quarterback rating over 140. Certainly made a case to possibly overtake the Vikings running back Peterson for league MVP honors. That's going to be a very hot topic of debate, I'm sure, over the course of this next week. But getting back to David Garrard, you're right, Vito. For a while, he was able to keep pace with Manning, had a terrific first half, put 17 points on the board, but more importantly, produced 2 long drives that kept the Colts off the field. Jaguars led 17-7 at halftime. They led 24-14 going into the fourth quarter, but almost as if by magic, the light goes on and Peyton Manning just at crunch time comes up and delivers. And for David Garrard, the interception by former Florida Gator Kewan Ratliff that was returned 35 yards for a touchdown was eerily reminiscent of the interception he threw in the opening game against the opening drive against the Chicago Bears. You had a cornerback come off his other route, and David just didn't see him, and he threw it right. Ratliff was right in David Garrard's sight line. David just didn't see him until it was too late, and the result was a pick six. And in truth and in reality, toward the end of the first half, David Garrard almost had 2 other interceptions, and one of them nearly went for another pick six that Jennings almost got. But for the most part, David Garrard was pretty efficient, and he certainly had moments where he looked like an elite quarterback. But the elite quarterbacks do one of 2 things. They're either elite from start to finish, or they're elite at crunch time, and David quite wasn't that tonight.
For example, Ben Roethlisberger against Baltimore, very good defense a week ago, did nothing for 3.5 quarters and drove 92 yards for a touchdown at the end. That's what the great quarterbacks do, or the elite quarterbacks, or however you want to call them. And the Jaguars have to worry, was last year like a career year for Garrard? Is he going to get back to that level? Or is he going to fall a little short? And when you don't have a great defense, which they certainly don't, and they win in the last year trying to fix the defense. All the things they did obviously didn't fix it because they still can't stop a hot quarterback. So they really have a lot of question marks, going into this offseason. This division loss means they're 2-4 in the division for 3 years in a row. You can't go very far if you can't win your division, and they're now 24-23 in the regular season the last 3 years. They become a 500 franchise, and so they've got some rebuilding to do in the offseason.
The Indianapolis Colts win their 8th consecutive game tonight and secure a playoff berth for the 7th consecutive year. Now, on a positive note for the Jaguars, great crowd tonight. Over 65,000 fans showed up. Obviously, a very emotional night where they honored fallen teammate Richard Collier, who came out for the pregame coin toss and was a recipient of some loud ovations. And besides David Garrard, great night for Maurice Drew. Maurice Jones-Drew, 27 touches for over 160 yards, really kept the Jaguars in this game. Dennis Northcutt, again, had another terrific game. David Garrard was able to find him in the first half for about a 28-yard touchdown pass where he floated a beautiful pass there. But again, it just wasn't quite enough. Now, for Maurice Jones-Drew, this night could be very productive from the standpoint that if there was ever any doubt about whether Maurice Jones-Drew could carry a load. Now, whether he can do it for a whole season, we don't know. But tonight, he carried the load in Fred Taylor's absence and really kept the Jaguars in the game. But in the end, it just wasn't enough. The Indianapolis Colts, again, they secure a wild card bid for the playoffs. They secure the number 5 seed. And all that's left now for the Jaguars is a season-ending date at Baltimore. And the Jaguars are basically now in a situation where they're probably going to get about a number 8 to number 10 draft pick, it looks like, somewhere in that range. Showed some positive signs tonight. They certainly did not mail it in. It was a great effort on their behalf. But again, it was just too much Peyton Manning in the end. Reporting for Jacksonville.com, along with Vito Stellino, this is Gene Frenette of the Florida Times-Union, signing off.